All right. Well, thanks everybody, and thanks for joining. And good morning. And I just want to welcome you to the DACC Principal Information Session. Whether you are a parent or a guardian of an incoming junior, or you're joining us as a family of one of our seniors entering one of the senior-only programs, we are very excited to have you here. Today, as Alicia mentioned, our goal is to help you feel prepared and confident as you head into the 26-27 school year. As she mentioned, you're coming from different schools. That can be a little nerve-wracking at times. So we're going to try to ease that in any anxieties that you have and provide you with plenty of information. Let's go ahead and hop right into our team introductions here. So here on the screen, you will see Principal Kate Blatchley, and she is the principal over pupil services. You can kind of see some of the tasks that she has specific to her, special education, IEP services, attendance, etc. And so we're very happy to have Kate on the call with us today. You see Carrie Trusley there, and she is our principal over student services. And what she does is really works closely with our school counselors, 504 services, behavioral health, as well as a number of programs that you can see there. And Kate works with programs as well. So just wanted to take a moment to introduce them. You'll hear from Kate here shortly. Let's go to our next slide here. And that's me, Mike Herzog. I'm the lead principal. I oversee a number of things here, but school safety obviously is my number one priority at all times. You can see that I work closely with our instructional coaches, with newer instructors in the district, and then a number of labs as well. Mr. Buck Weaver, principal of Career Tech, and he is here today on the call with us as well, so you'll be hearing from him. But you can see a number of the Career Tech programs that he supervises, as well as transportation and other responsibilities too. So just wanted a moment to, well, you know what? There's one other person here I want to introduce, Mr. Christopher Daniel. He is not on the call today, but he is going to be our Dean of Students for next year. And so Miss Cole, if you know Miss Cole, she is retiring this year. And so we are very happy to have Christopher on board. We're very excited. He's already diving in to the DACC process and culture already this year. So we are very excited to have Mr. Daniel on board as our Dean of Students for the next school year. So he's not on the call today, but just wanted to let you know who he is, and you'll be seeing him around. And whenever I talk to groups of students or parents, especially early on in their experience with DACC, I like to just point out that our vision is simple. We aim to empower, prepare, inspire, and connect every student who walks through our doors. And that's really our promise. And along with our vision is our mission, and that means to elevate our students' life. Giving students the skills, confidence, and opportunities that they need to succeed in whatever path that they choose. The vision and mission shape every decision that we make here at DACC and every opportunity that we provide to our students. We know that when they grow, they thrive, and that we're going to have them leave us ready for what's next and really be most prepared. So that is our vision and our mission that we guide by every day. And before we really get into the details, though, of this presentation and all the things that you might have questions about, I just want to give you a quick overview of what we're going to cover today. We're going to start by reviewing some things that happen before that you'll need to do before school begins, like registration, school fees, what to expect at scheduled pickup. Then we're going to walk through the school day and what that looks like for your student. We'll talk briefly about our safety procedures and how transportation works. Next, we'll explain our academic model, which is very unique if you're not familiar with it. And that will include talking about what Fridays look like and how we support students when they manage hybrid learning. We'll wrap up with the information about attendance, technology, and how we stay connected using the DACC app. So, of course, there'll be some time for questions at the end as well. So just want to give you a preview of what our content is today. And let's go ahead and start out with what needs to happen really before the school year officially begins. So approximately mid-July, it usually goes out right in that second to third week of July. We'll send a communication to all families with all the details that you're going to need. This is going to contain like a parent to-do list, that'll help you keep track of all those things. But some of the key items that you're really going to have to focus on is completing the online registration, paying program and meal fees, and submitting any required immunization records. Also, applying for free and reduced lunch if that applies. And then also just making sure that you mark your calendar for the scheduled pickup that we'll have. And if your student will be driving to school, there's also a parking permit process that they'll need to complete as well. So those are just just a heads up of what will be contained in that email in mid-July. I'm going to talk briefly about InfoSnap registration. So InfoSnap is where you'll enter your student's health and emergency contact information, and also be where you review key DACC policies. Please complete this step in a timely fashion so that it'll avoid any delays at the beginning of our school year. For example, students that do not have emergency medical information on file cannot participate in labs due to safety concerns. And that's a real thing at a career center. So that, at a traditional school, it may not be as big of a concern, but the emergency medical piece is very important here at a career center. So that's got to be completed before the school year starts. This will be available at the night of acceptance night, which is on April 23rd, coming up next week. Should you need assistance, we'll have people in the Commons that can help you complete that process, okay? So at this time, I believe I'm going to turn this over to Miss Blatchley. And Miss Blatchley, take us away.
Thank you so much, Mike. Everybody, welcome. I'm so excited to see you. I want to put a plug in for you to attend our acceptance night next Thursday. It should prove to be an informational experience and some high energy. We really want to welcome you. So the slides that I have to talk about are around fees and payments, and I want to start by saying that you really can, should you have any difficulty, it is explained very clearly on our website. If you just go to the DACC website, then you search by fees, and all of this information is there. But it starts with developing a Pay School Central account. If you already have a Pay School Central account, you must create a new one with a different email address. That's really key, a different email address. And then when you register, you'll use your student's 6-digit number. That will be available anytime after that scheduled pickup night in August that Mr. Herzog mentioned. And then again, there's the website on where to register. With regards to fees can be paid anytime after August 11th in the evening on acceptance night next Thursday. You will have a list of what the fees should be, but you will be able to start paying those fees August 11th. There are particular links on how to pay those fees. And again, it's through our Pay School Central system. You can pay by check. The credit card is through the Pay Schools. We do have a student assistance program should the fees create a hardship for you or your family, and there is a link to request those. Of course, it's not a promise, but it's an offer of help if you absolutely need it. And then in the payment plan, the woman, Mrs. Robinson, here in our main office is the person to contact, and her information is there. Next, we have meals. Oh my goodness, our cafeteria is one of the best I've ever seen. But you can load money on that account through Pay Schools. The link is there. You can come into the main office, again, to Miss Robinson and pay by check, and then that will be deposited. Or if you wanted, you can even load money on your account through credit card in the main office if that account is difficult for you to get to. And if all else fails, you can use cash at the register with our folks there. Thank you. The Chromebooks, we here at the DACC do require either a Chromebook or a compatible device. Students can bring their own device, but no matter what, they need to bring it every single day. If you want to purchase that Chromebook through our technology department, that is great. They'll be available on scheduled pickup night, again, August 11th, or normal school hours anytime after that event before school starts. The current cost is $250, and it will be added, if you so choose to purchase that Chromebook through us, to their fees after September 1st. But bringing it every day is so important, and having it charged. Free and reduced lunch, there's often many questions about the free and reduced lunch form. The questions rest in, even though your student may come to DACC full day, they must still fill out a free and reduced lunch form at our school. If they're a half-day student, they need to do it both schools. So that free and reduced lunch application is unique to each school. Immunizations. So students that are 12th graders are required to have immunizations. If they fail to get those, the home schools will not allow you to come. So instead of waiting until they turn in their senior year, they always can start anytime after age 16. That meningitis booster, though, has to be given on or after a student turns 18 years old. What do? Well, you check your immunization records, you schedule an appointment, you visit your doctor, you can go to a clinic before school starts. When you get documentation of that updated immunization, you can give it to us, and our school nurse will forward it to your student's homeschool's nurse, or you can just turn it in directly to your homeschool nurse, because they will have an exclusion date, and each homeschool is just a little bit different. So it's very important you take care of this in a timely manner. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Buck Weaver. I'm our Principal of Career Tech Programs here at DACC. Welcome to our school. We're excited to have all of you guys. Looking forward to next year with your students. First thing I'm going to talk about is our school calendar. Coming to DACC, you have the unique situation of having to manage 2 school calendars. So first of all, I just wanted to show you ours. I don't expect you to see any of the details on that, but you can go to our website and get our school calendar that you will be able to compare to your home district school calendar, to try to start managing all of the important dates on both of those. One of the key things to note for our school calendar, sorry, Mr. Herzog, go back one for me. For our school calendar is you are required to be at school at our school, even if your homeschool is scheduled to be off. And please note the key word there is scheduled to be off. So if there are particular snow days or things that come up where it's an emergency closing, you're not required to be at our school. We would actually encourage you to follow the guidance of your home district. But if it is a scheduled day off due to the calendar saying so, you are required to be at DACC, and vice versa. So if your homeschool is in session and we are not, you are still required to be at that homeschool if you take your academic classes there. Go ahead, Mr. Herzog. Thank you, sir. Transportation. This is one of the main items that we get questions about, is transportation. Probably important to note, first of all, that our district, the ACC, we do not have our own transportation department. We rely on our home district's transportation departments to transport students to and from their schools or your home of residence to here at DACC. The biggest thing that I can tell you and recommendation I can give you is, when you have your question, reach out to your home.
Hey, Haley, I've got 3 young ladies that are coming to my.
Does everyone? Reach out to your home district transportation department to ask those questions. They are going to have the most current and accurate information. You're welcome to ask me, reach out to me, shoot me an email, but my default is going to be reach out to your home district transportation because they will have the most current information that you will need. For our equine science and wildlife programs, those are obviously off campus. Our home districts do still provide busing to those. Students are also still welcome to drive to those as students drive here to school. Just wanted to note that one key difference for our off-campus programs, our zoo school program, our home districts do not provide transportation to and from our zoo school. So that is the responsibility of each of our zoo school students is to provide their own transportation to and from the zoo. As I mentioned, we do allow students to drive here and park here at DACC. We do require our parking permit. Our parking permits are only $5. And you will be able to, Mr. Herzog will be sending out a midsummer communication that'll have various links in it. One of those links will be for the parking pass form. You would also be able to complete that when you come for scheduled pickup on August 11th. Some key events coming up to bring your attention to. Next Thursday, we have our acceptance night. Definitely encourage you guys to attend. You'll be able to meet your instructor, ask any questions. They'll cover a brief presentation with you to cover important information for their program. You'll be able to tour the building, meet various staff, and we also have academic presentations that will be available to you. Then our scheduled pickup on August 11th. This will be another opportunity for you to meet with your instructor, tour the building if you'd like, and then kind of go through all the things that you need to get taken care of before a school year. So Chromebooks, get your own device registered here, get it set up for our systems here at DACC, pay your school fees, get your parking permit, and then talk with any school counselors about things that you would need. And then our first day of school for here is August 17th, Monday, August 17th. So looking forward to next school year with everybody. Welcome to DACC, and we are glad to have you guys.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Weaver and Ms. Blatchley, for all of that information. Aren't they great? They're awesome. They're really great people, and I know that you're going to get to know everybody here well. So we're going to talk a little bit about when the school year starts. So up to this point, we've kind of given you information to do ahead of the school year starting. But let's go ahead and talk about this real quick. So I mentioned earlier that one of my priorities is safety. And making sure that students and staff and guests and everybody is safe every day. So just like to review with parents that student safety is our top priority, and that at all times exterior doors do remain locked during the school day. When students do arrive, though, we have staff positioned at entrances to supervise and keep an eye on entries and exits and ensure that only DACC students are entering. After arrival, those doors do get locked, and then visitors have to check in through the main office. So that's a key part of our, only allowing people in who should be here. We also conduct routine safety drills that are required by the state, and sometimes we even do additional safety drills if we feel as a school that we need to practice additional things. So like, for instance, earlier this week, we conducted an additional safety drill that is above and beyond what was required by the state, but I felt that it was necessary as we were getting to that point in the year. So just a little bit about that. One of the things that we really pride ourselves on here is that we maintain a safe and professional environment. Being a career center, that's very important to me. It's very important to the other principals that you hear or have heard from today. And students are required to wear their DACC ID badge at all times. And we ask that they wear it on themselves at all times so that we can easily identify who they are. And especially at the beginning of the year, it's really important, right? If they forget it, they can get a temporary one from the office. If it's lost, if they've lost their ID, replacements are $5. Just helps us keep the costs out. We do replace a good bit of them during the course of the year. Also, please know that we follow a dress for success approach, and this is different than your homeschool, and this is really important, especially if there are students on the call, that we understand this. Okay, each lab has its own dress expectations, and it's usually tied to the industry standard. It's always tied to the industry standard. So some may require uniforms or safety gear depending on the field, and so these guidelines help students build habits that match real workplace expectations and helps to prepare them for life after school. Why do I point this out? Because it's vastly different than your homeschool. Homeschool dress codes and those expectations are probably, I don't know, quote unquote, a little more loose than what they are here. So it's important to know, parents and students both, that we have these expectations and we have to maintain them. So we refer to it as dressing for success. A little bit about our daily schedule. So most juniors in level 1 labs attend the morning from 7:50 to 10:50 a.m. Zoo School is an exception to this, and they meet from 12:30 to 3. Full day juniors take academic classes in the afternoon and eat lunch here at DACC. Half day students do not eat lunch here. Half day students eat lunch back at their home school. Please take note of that. That seems to be a question that comes up in the beginning of the year. Can my student eat lunch at DACC? We have a very specific area for lunches, and so in order to get our full day students through the line and serve them properly, we have to keep it to our full day students only. Fridays are hybrid learning days for full day students, and students work from home on assignments that count toward learning and attendance. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. And that leads me right into talking about our academic model. And so if you're unfamiliar with our model, this might be a little eye-opening to you, but if you know about it, it's pretty much what we've been doing the last 6 or 7 years pretty consistently. Our academic model is designed to give students flexibility and build independent learning skills, and that's at its core. Full day students have academic classes in person Monday through Thursday. Half of their time is in traditional classrooms, while the other half of their time is in what we call the big space. And that is where they manage their own learning on student scheduled days. So they are working more independently or maybe with small groups of students. And the teacher's obviously there, but they're acting more as a guide to instruction than they are leading instruction. And so, Fridays are hybrid, meaning students complete assignments at home and submit them by 7:50 a.m. on Mondays. The first hybrid Friday will be on September 5th. And so our academic teachers host hours on hybrid Fridays to provide assistance to students for their coursework. So we don't want students to feel like they're, out there on their own. They can still contact their teachers. It is through, office hours through a virtual environment. And the purpose of this, I kind of mentioned this earlier, but it is to prepare students for life beyond school, not just academically, but professionally. This model that we have, it builds upon the 21st century skills, learning skills, such as independence, time management, goal setting, and the ability to use technology effectively. It also creates a little more flexibility for students to take part in work-based learning experiences, giving them real-world exposure while still in high school. Everything that we do here is designed to give them an edge in their future beyond high school. So that's one of that is the core reason why we switched over to this model. Let's see here. So we know that independent learning is new for many students. So we don't expect them to obviously be pros at it right away. At the start of the year, teachers will provide training on how to manage hybrid assignments and how to use Canvas effectively. Canvas is our LMS, if you're familiar with it. Our tech team is also available to help support students with devices and login issues at the beginning of the year, as well as throughout the year. But throughout the year, we have staff members that monitor grades, attendance, and engagement, and they reach out to parents when things are not going as well as they should be. Parents, you can really help us out by asking to see hybrid assignments on Thursday nights and encouraging your students to submit them before Monday's deadline, not wait until the deadline of 7:50 a.m., but encouraging them to get them done before the weekend is over. Ideally, if they can do them on Friday, that would be best. Then they have their weekend really to not worry about school. My strong recommendation is for you to stay connected with teachers by email. If you have concerns, obviously reach out. The earlier, the better. And, I think that we have a very collaborative culture here between our teachers and our parents. So I don't anticipate that being a problem. But anytime that you have questions, please reach directly out to the teacher. They are going to be the best source of information and feedback that you can get. And they're very responsive. I'm going to hand this slide over to Miss Blatchley. Back to Miss Blatchley. She's going to talk a little bit about attendance.
Thanks so much, Mr. Herzog. Like Mr. Herzog said, everything at the DACC here is about eventually not only getting the skills to get a job, but reinforcing those habits to keep a job. And one of the main reasons people lose their place of employment is because of attendance. So attendance is just super important. For any unexpected absences, we ask that parents use the report an absence form that can be found on our website or our app, and we'd like you to do that prior to 8:30. For any planned time off, you know that you're going to be doing a college visit or you know something's coming up, we have a form in the main high school office that you just complete, you get your teacher's signature, and if you can turn that into us 3 days before you go, that'll make everything just smooth sailing. Parents, if you want to call in your son or daughter because for some reason they won't be able to attend the DACC that day, you're able to call in for 15 absences. Beyond that point, we, meaning the DACC, will need some kind of documentation for that. Mr. Weaver did a great job of explaining that even if your homeschool is closed because of a planned absence, they have a teacher workday, for example, and DACC is open, homeschools will run transportation here to the DACC and you are expected to attend. Thank you. And Mr. Herzog talked about our hybrid Fridays. Those distance learning assignments that Mr. Herzog mentioned, if you fail to remember to do them, you haven't done them, that will count as an absence. That's the way we, by completing those assignments, that's how we can count our students' attendance. So again, it's very important to complete those assignments prior to Monday morning, and then it won't impact you. If you forget to do that, it will count as an unexcused absence. Now, Ohio looks at attendance in two different ways. One is more supportive, and one is focusing on truancy. Now, this past August, the state made a decision that all absences, excused or unexcused, count towards the 5% or 10% rule. 5% is about 50 hours. So whether it's excused or unexcused, if your son or daughter misses those 50 hours, parents, you will receive a notification from us here at the DACC. Same as if at 10%, 100 hours, you'll receive notification. We'll try to work together to figure out if there's anything we can do here to support your son or daughter as we navigate all this process. So that was the one way, more of a supportive nature, and that counts for excused and unexcused. The other way is called truancy. Truancy is unexcused absences only. and how you get those unexcused absences when it comes to a point of notification of involving not only you as a family, but also the Delaware County Juvenile Court System. We have a liaison that we work very closely with. There are 3 ways that would trigger that notification. One is 30 consecutive unexcused hours, or 42 unexcused hours in a month, or 72 hours unexcused in a year. So 30 consecutive, 42 in 1 month, or 72 for the year. That's what will trigger truancy. And then we'll work together to make some goals and try to get that attendance under wraps.
Okay, thanks, Ms. Blatchley. I think this is actually one of our last slides here. Just wanted to plug our DACC app. Communication is everything, especially when you're switching schools, right? It's very simple just to download the DACC app, and you're going to get messages and notifications a little quicker than you might otherwise. So I definitely encourage you to do that. It gives you access to things like news, upcoming events, lunch menus, access to Power School, and so it's really important that you download that. In this day and age, getting information as quick as you can seems to be of utmost importance. So we encourage every family to have the app installed so that you can stay in the know. Let's see here. I think we're getting to the end here. We are. So that really wraps up our main information that we wanted to share today. So we know that this is a lot to absorb. So if you have any specific questions now that we might be able to answer for you, now would be a great time to ask. I assume that there's probably been some questions in the chat throughout this presentation. So we're here to help. I just want you to know that to make this transition smooth and successful, both for you and your student. And I just really appreciate everybody joining the call today. And for those who are going to view this in a recording, thank you for taking the time to listen to it as well. So
Mr. Herzog, we have a couple of questions. One about vaccines. Do they have to be 18 to receive, I believe that's the meningitis, the MCV4, or can they get it before the school year begins if they're 17? Do you have that information, Ms. Blatchley? Oh, I think you're muted.
Good gravy. You'd think I'd be better at that by now. I'm sorry. I apologize, parents and families. The question is, they can get it anytime after they're 16.
Yeah.
Perfect. So we have a question about alternative learning experiences. And if we need more details, let me know. Is there a concept of alternative learning experiences at DACC?
No, we don't have a specific program in that. A lot of our programming is already based on alternative learning experiences, such as our WBL program that we have, where students can get out into the workforce. Some of them can even start. Some juniors can even start in their junior year, and mostly our student body takes place. They take part in the WBL, that stands for work-based learning. They start that program in their senior year, where they can be at work during the school day, getting hands-on experience in that field, or they can actually substitute their time. So if they work in the evenings or on the weekends, they can substitute the time that they're working for school time. So that's a really big program that we have. I think that probably answers or might answer the alternative learning question.
Wonderful. And then 2 questions related to Hybrid Fridays. I'm going to try to loop these together. Does everyone have virtual Hybrid Friday classes? And then also, do full day students specifically have Hybrid Fridays?
Yeah, so Hybrid Friday 100% is for academic classes for full day students, meaning that they participate in Hybrid Friday assignments and experiences. If there are transportation issues, Of course, we have staff members here on Friday. So during a student's academic time, which for juniors is in the afternoon, they actually can be here. They're just not going to have class as normal. And we have essentially a 3-hour long study hall that is set up and monitored by staff members. Some of their teachers may be here during that time to be able to assist them, but that would also be a time where students can hop on to their Teams calls for specific assistance from their teachers in that particular class. So hybrid is for full day students. However, we do have a lab hybrid Friday program for labs, and that is dependent upon the teacher's willingness or their decision making really to have. So most of our labs have a hybrid Friday aspect to it. Some of our labs choose not to do it, and some of our labs choose to do it in maybe a limited capacity. They might pick a couple of Fridays per month that they decide that they could do a hybrid assignment versus having the students in session.
All right. Feel free to add more questions if you have them. I will say that I dropped a lot of links into the chat. If you didn't grab those, if you didn't save them, that's okay. The follow-up email you're going to receive will point you to our student and parent hub, and that's basically a page on our website that will have the recordings of these sessions, the slides of the presentations, and all of those links, plus more that I shared all in one place. So you'll be able to get things like the parking passes and the attendance FAQ. All of those will be in one spot for you, so don't stress about trying to click all of those links and save all of those web pages. I will also tell you that in the fall, we'll start communicating information about snow days and delays and how those work. But the important thing to remember is that the weather can be wildly different between where we are in Delaware and even north of us or south of us. So especially if you're a half-day student, you may get 2 phone calls, one from your homeschool and one from us. It's important to listen to both. Only what we say applies to us and only what they say applies to them. So we don't speak for each other's schools. And then do zoo school students have hybrid Fridays, Mr. Herzog?
I'm going to defer to Mr. Weaver for that. He supervises the zoo program. I can't recall if she uses hybrid Friday or not.
Yep. Our zoo program has never done hybrid Fridays. They try to maximize their amount of time in the zoo as much as possible. And to be honest with you, I feel like that's what all of our students want. They don't want that hybrid Friday. They prefer to be at the zoo. But that's not to say that Miss Cunningham couldn't evolve into using some sort of a hybrid Friday plan, but currently she does not, and she has not in the past.
Yeah. And I just like to add one additional thing about the hybrid Friday for labs. I know it's like, well, Mr. Herzog said that some labs do and some labs don't. It really, we do leave that decision for our instructor to make because they know the program best, they know the curriculum best, and they know the equipment that is available in the lab the best to make the decision to say, hey, I need them here physically present, or I can come up with a way for them to do something hybrid in a hybrid fashion that would not take away from their learning. So we really do give our instructors that leeway to decide if they are going to have hybrid for that purpose.
And I see the question on there about equine. Our equine program has kind of ebbed and flowed as far as the hybrid Fridays have gone. Sometimes they've done it, sometimes they haven't. So I'm not sure what Ms. Kessler is thinking as far as next year. So it could be, but maybe not.
Yeah, I encourage everyone to come to acceptance night. We have 30 plus programs that students are being enrolled in, and you'll get detailed information about the program that you're about to go into at acceptance night. If you can't make it to acceptance night, follow up with your instructor and they can share details with you afterwards. And then another question about Microsoft Office on Chromebooks. Do they need to download Microsoft Office? Will students be using Google Docs? Any advice there?
I mean, I think a large majority of our students just use Google products for assignment submission. Many of our academic teachers, while Canvas is their LMS, there are many Google links within the Canvas LMS that students can access and also submit assignments through. So Google products would be just fine.
Wonderful. All right. And as we shared, this will be recorded and sent out to you as quickly as we can. But this is not the last that you have access to us. All of us will be at acceptance night. I invite you to stop by and say hi. You'll be able to meet with your teacher and ask specific instructions and specific questions about your lab program. And you're always welcome to give us a phone call or drop us an email. Those new student information emails that you get from us, if you hit reply, those go to a human, and that human being will reply to you or get you in touch with the right person. So we're happy to hang on for just one more minute and answer your questions. But otherwise, there are lots of ways to get in touch with us as those questions come up throughout the rest of the school year. All right. Well, thank you, principals, for taking your time to do this. I hope this has been beneficial and informative for everyone. We appreciate you taking all the time out of your day to join us for this session, and we hope to see you next week at acceptance night.
Yep.
All right. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.